It is significant that the G20 Leaders Summit later this year will be convened for the first time on African soil. This, in many ways, highlights the growing importance of the African continent in global economic, political, and environmental discussions that are ensuing around the world. Africa is home to some of the world's fastest-growing economies, and in many ways faces unique challenges such as the impact of climate change, developmental needs that it has, and the effects of global trade dynamics. This summit's location underscores the need for African voices to be heard on critical global issues like sustainable development, the digital economy, and the shift towards the green energy. The world has changed in fundamental ways. The UN must also change accordingly. We continue to call for the UN Security Council, the multilateral trading system, and the international financial architecture to be realigned, to be reformed, to make them more representative, more agile, and more responsive to today's global realities. As the G20, it is critical that the principles of the UN Charter, multilateralism, and international law should remain at the center of all our endeavors. It should be the glue that keeps us together. The conflicts between Russia and Ukraine, conflicts that's raging in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, in the Sudan, in the Sahel, and in Gaza, continue to exact heavy human toll and heighten global insecurity. South Africa welcomes the ceasefire agreement reached between Israel and Hamas as a crucial first step towards ending the severe humanitarian crisis faced by the Palestinian people in Gaza. The climate crisis is no longer a threat. It is a catastrophic reality that all of us in the world must face. Last year, global average temperature exceeded 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels or industrialization levels for the first time. The impact of climate change places a disproportionate and unjust burden on the poorest as well as the most vulnerable. As the G20, we must seize this opportunity of crisis to innovate and drive sustainable solutions. We are on a continent that continues to suffer major and catastrophic climate disasters. Climate-induced natural disasters affect countries around the world, but we feel them acutely on this continent as well. But they have a particularly devastating impact on countries that cannot afford the costs of recovery and rebuilding. Developing economies are currently experiencing the highest borrowing costs in nearly 2 decades. The Secretary General of the United Nations says that poor countries pay up to 8 times more than your more developed economies when it comes to servicing their debt. More than 3.3 billion people live in countries where interest payments of debt exceed the payments or expenditure that is made for education and health as well. The G20 needs to renew its efforts to advance debt sustainability with a particular emphasis, yes, I would say on African countries, but more broadly on countries in the global south who continue to face those challenges. Those most responsible for climate change do have a duty and a responsibility to support those least responsible. G20 leaders should secure agreement on increasing the quality and quantity of climate finance flows to developing economy countries. We will champion an inclusive G20 framework on green industrialization and investment to promote value addition and beneficiation of critical minerals. And this we will do with a view of ensuring that the benefits flow mutually to all. And we're not talking about a one-dimensional benefit only. All should benefit. In other words, both the South and the North should be able to benefit. Through solidarity, we've been able to make progress as humanity. Through fostering equality, we've been able to be real humans. And through engendering sustainability, we have a better future as humans on this planet ahead of us. This task is now in our hands as the G20 family, and I do believe the various meetings we are going to hold throughout the year, this one being one of the key ones, will lead us in the direction that we all seek to move in. So I thank you, and once again, I welcome you dearly to South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.